Alright, this video talks about how maybe we should work with students who have emotional disturbances and or behavioral disturbances in a classroom setting. And I think that in terms of working with students, I think this is something that I've probably come across quite a bit in the past, but maybe didn't know about very much. I think a lot of students that we have come across over the years I've seen have been every so often you get a student who kind of sits on their own, tends to be socially awkward with the other students, and maybe acts a little bit depressed. And that's the kind of student who might fit into this category and maybe is undiagnosed. So I think we've worked with a lot of students like this over the years, maybe who could use more help than they're getting. And so in terms of that kind of student, or students that I have known have had emotional disturbances, you want to give them a little bit of leeway in the classroom. I think you want to give them some space. You don't want to put them in an uncomfortable situation where they might have to work in a group that they're uncomfortable with, or that could cause problems for them. So I think it's okay to let them work on their own, as much as is possible. Lets them be comfortable, lets them kind of work at their own pace. But you still want to give them some structure. As with almost all of these disorders that we come across with these students, there still should be structure, there still should be communication with that student as to what they are, what's expected of them. But you do have to give them some understanding too, and let them work through some of their issues on their own, and not constantly be on their case and be very hard on them. I also think, though, in terms of behavioral disorders, one of the things I looked at that was a good point was that you don't want to let those students run your classroom. You still have to cover your content, you still have to cover what you want, but if you're scared of setting off a student or a few students, and you take things easy and so that you don't cause a problem, I think that's something you have to be aware of. You have to kind of do a mixture, a balance, and be able to still cover what you need to cover, but also maybe try to deal with things proactively so that things don't get out of control or that more problems aren't caused in your classroom. But again, this is something very common that we see quite a bit in the classroom setting.